Hey there! If we can just throw a top 10 list into the mix to complement our competition, project, and product reviews. Alright now, let's get this party started. Today we'll show you our top 10 most windy project cars. We'll remember some of the cars of the past, which either don't exist today, or that do still exist but moved to another country. Our subscribers definitely know what car I'm talking about. Today you'll be the ones to decide which project car is the loudest and the windiest, and generally the one you like best. Let's have a look. I used to follow our foreign colleagues, just like you guys. I was interested in how Steve Mitz did his thing, watching people's hair swaying out of windows. I was generally curious how those foreign cars were made, using them as a point of reference. But now the tides have changed. Americans come over to visit us, to listen to our projects, and learn a thing or two from them. And so we were the ones who sent out a project to show exactly how a proper car should pump tunes. And so we kick off our top 10 list with our flagship project, which is a Ford F-350 that currently resides in Miami. This car actually drove around Russia quite a bit. Thousands of people saw what it can do. I know that a lot of people heard what it can do, and it has been revised quite a few times too. The final iteration was based on 12 and 15-inch deafbonce subwoofers, with 4-inch coils, plus it had 8 5500 series amps. That thing generated quite a lot of wind. The final result was 162.8 at 28 Hz. This car wasn't built with results in mind. It was a show car that pumps hard with two doors open, and that generates a ton of wind. Those who did hear what it can do know very well the kind of power that car is now putting out over in the States. The next project on our list is one of my personal favorites. After all, it is my project. It's a Ford S-Max rocking 12 12-inch speakers with 4th order bandpass. The final version of that project had 4 12-kilowatt amps. And since this list is all about wind, there was plenty of it. A bunch of people used that Ford as their benchmark. It had an outstanding power output with two doors open. This was actually the first project car that could do hair tricks with two doors open. It generated 160 decibels with two doors open, and 156 decibels at 25 Hz. You got wind through the windows, from the interior, from the port. You got wind coming from all over the place. The next project is an oddball on this list, since it doesn't have a divider or a huge amount of subwoofers. Just two 15-inch speakers. It does have plenty of power, of course, but given the layout, this thing is far out. The amount of wind generated by just two speakers is something else. The car is a Chevrolet Cruze, belonging to Dmitry Tuzhik. He competed last year with two 315 series subwoofers. This year he threw some 4 series into the mix. I don't know his current result, but the amount of wind that thing generated was amazing. As much as you can squeeze out of a system like this. It's comparable to many systems with dividers. Now we come to Sergei Remezov's project cars. He has a Ford Transit, which he packed with 20 12-inch speakers. When I visited Novosibirsk, that car had a mere 12 subwoofers. And as you can see, that car was as windy as it gets. Sergei says that right now it's just out of this world, and that even the Barkos doesn't have anything on that Transit. As for results, that thing generates well over 100 decibels. You'll see exactly how much at the finals. This thing is top-notch, and we will see how he does at the finals. Sergei will switch on his system, while we all look on, and I record a video about this monster for you guys. So our next project is the DB Shop Caddy from the city of Ijevsk. I had a listen in Samara, and I can't help but put it on the same level as the Barkos. The amount of wind coming from the window is comparable to what the Barkos had at the door opening. The Barkos' thing is generating wind with an open door, while this thing can wreak hell with two windows open. You got glasses and hoods flying off of people, and you literally get sucked in. And I'm being dead serious right now. You got 14 subwoofers, 7 11800 amps. The car went over 165 decibels. Plus you got a really thick divider going on. Awesome stuff. With this sort of layout, you just lean your head a bit closer and have your ears torn off, and any clothing that you're wearing just flies out the window. Another top-level wind generator on our list, also a Sergei Remezov project, would be the Barkos, which I regard as the loudest thing out there right now. The amount of wind you get in the door opening is just unbelievable. It can play at 19 Hz, 19, 24, and it's crazy. To me, this thing is top-notch. But you tell us what you think in the comments. This car catches you by surprise. Sergei switches on some music, which starts playing while you wait for something to happen, and then it hits you hard. And one more thing I'd like to point out. It's especially interesting to look on when the women in their skirts and dresses are trying to have a listen. Now, that's pretty cool. This is the only car here which doesn't use deafbonce subwoofers. Instead, it has Avatar SVLs, which are top-of-the-line 18-inch units. Now, this thing churns out a hell of a lot of wind. The next car on our list is from the city of Vladikavkaz. We posted a review of this Chevrolet Tahoe on our channel, so check it out. Last year, this car was sporting 16 subwoofers, but this year it has an even better setup. The car lost 4 of those subwoofers, which allowed for optimizing the calibrations a bit and achieving a result of over 165 decibels, with virtually zero effect on the amount of wind. It's also pretty good with 2 doors open, but when you crank the frequency up to 40 to 42 Hz, that's when you get torn apart. Just like every other project on this video, this is one of the windiest cars on the Russian car audio scene. Now it's time for us to cover the most popular project cars, which are pretty much deities in the world of car music. We have an Mira, which used to be red and later was colored black, so it underwent some cosmetic changes. At first it had a layout based on a past configuration. There's smoke coming from the subwoofers. The entire row burned out. It's wasted. Holy shit, man. Completely destroyed. The car underwent a complete overhaul. The old dividers were ripped out, and in went 10 12-inch subwoofers with a 4th-order bandpass, while installing a port right behind the driver's seat. As for now, having a port on the side is an interesting little life hack to take someone's scalp off. When a person sits down to have a listen, he's basically sitting right inside the enclosure. And you also get a vacuum cleaner effect, which sucks in people's purses, clothing, and even the people themselves. When you have bass thumping in here, you basically involuntarily move your body to the music, like a leaf or something. You also get a lot of wind. The car can play within a wide range, to the point where you can get your nose broken at 40 Hz. I mean, literally. You can't breathe, your chest hurts, and you get wind blowing everywhere. Even when 2 doors are open, this layout is strong. Good for hair tricks and everything. So this is a top-notch project, which not only generates wind, but is also capable of playing within a wide range. Our next project is the noisiest Hummer in the world. Literally the loudest one on the planet. As for the system, I don't know. Does this car really need introduction? It's packing 8 415 series subwoofers. It's been that way for 3 years now. Artem replaced the old subwoofers. They're actually for sale if anybody's interested. Anyway, he replaced them with some new 4 series deafbonces, while leaving the same old amplifiers. With 2 doors open, that car peaks at 160. So this is one killer Hummer. You hop in and you're blown away. Artem likes playing music at 40 Hz, so that all the people, he's actually always running out of the car. He sits down, then he hops out. It doesn't matter whether the doors are open or not, the windows and so forth. The car is always windy regardless. Plus you get a ton of rather painful bass. This project is absolutely top-notch, and a quite famous and popular one as well. In that regard, it's comparable to the Lada 2113, which is sort of an idol, way ahead of everything else in terms of popularity. As it stands, it's the noisiest Hummer in the world. I mean, it does generate 160 decibels with 1 door open. Yes, that result was attained in a garage, but bear in mind that the official result is 164.3. And an open door gives you an extra 2 to 3 decibels with this particular layout. So the final car on this top 10 list is a Cadillac Escalade. I decided to climb inside so that everyone who had never seen or heard this system in person can get a taste of how huge these monstrous speakers are. These are some 32-inch subwoofers. They are the largest and loudest subwoofers, and the windiest ones out there too. This project has become something of an amusement park ride. Everybody wants to get inside the port. This thing generates tons of wind. Even when you have 2 doors open, the system can do hair tricks. Now let's just... And that's all for today's episode. You were watching the top 10 windiest project cars in the Russian car audio scene. Feel free to make some video suggestions, like the loudest front, or the car with the highest result. I'll be waiting for your comments. And don't forget to vote for your favorite project. Or maybe make your own list, with one car in first place, another in second, third, fourth, and so on. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. hit that like button. I'm pretty keen on reading your thoughts in the comments. Also hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any new videos on our channel. Alright, bye-bye.